Okay, so the last video I told you a little bit about the changes that I made, but in this video I'm just going to show you what the pattern says to do, but I'm going to remind you from time to time about those changes from the previous video. So here you can see I'm turning it down just a little bit. That is the 1/4 of an inch that the pattern had asked for. Again, I recommend doing the 3/8, not the 1/4, but this is the 1/4 as requested in the pattern. And this is, again, as requested in the pattern. This is 1 inch, and again, I think that that's a little narrow, and because the crotch is so deep, that's why I recommend instead of the 1 inch to do the 1.5. And here what I've done is, after I've done those 2 pressings, this one and this one, whether you're doing it as per directed by the pattern or as per my changes, you're going to put your needle in the middle position, put it right here. It may be hard for you to see, but it's at A, and that is the straight stitch. And I'm just going to sew around my waistband. I'm going to just edge stitch it. So I'm just really close to the edge here. Now I like to leave a couple pins in, and right here you can see I've used 3 pins, and that's to remind me that I've started sewing here. I went all the way around my waistband, and so as I come up to here, these 3 pins are going to be kind of different than anything else on there, and I'm going to remind myself, oh, I should stop here, and I'll back tack. That way I'll leave an opening, about a 2-inch opening. So here's my 3 pins, and you can see my back tacking that I've done right here. So that's where I began, and that's where I finished. Now I think that opening's a lot better if you leave it right at the back. So here are those 2 buttonholes, and this is the back seam of my pants, and so that's the opening that I've left to get all my waistband and drawstring in. So now I'm going to measure my waist, and I'm going to cut a piece of elastic that's about 2 inches bigger than my waist measurement. I'm going to put a safety pin on both ends. One of the safety pins I'm going to pin again at the back of my pants. I'm going to pin it to that seam so I don't lose that end, and the other end I'm just going to fold it over once, put the safety pin through, and then I'm going to feed that safety pin in through the opening of my pants, and I'm going to use that safety pin to kind of push the elastic through. Once I've gone all the way around and my elastics come out the other side, I'm just going to fold it over those 2 inches that I cut as extra, and I'm going to safety pin that in place. And at this point I can try it on and see whether that's a comfortable fit or whether I want to overlap it a little bit more for it to be a little bit more secure. But remember, you are going to have the drawstring as well. So you don't want it too tight, because you can always pull it a little tighter with the drawstring. The elastic is really just to help it, so when you first put on the pants, to hold it in place, and then you can snug it up with that drawstring. And what I'm going to do, if I really like how tight the elastic is, I'm going to put it on my C setting, and the C is the zigzag. I'm going to place the elastic where it's 2 layers thick underneath my presser foot on my sewing machine, and I'm going to zigzag those 2 together. So as you can see, I've done back tacking here, zigzagged along, and I back tacked here as well. Here's another view. You can see that I'm stretching it here, and all I'm trying to show you is the zigzag pulls apart, and that gives it that stretch that you're going to need when you put it on you. If you used a straight stitch here, a straight stitch there, when you pull it apart, when it fits over your body, you're going to bust those stitches, and that's not good. Okay, so these again are just it's the beginning of the video, so I will catch you in the next one.